Hey, today's September 6th, 2016, and I have another cello out on approval. This one is the Mittenwalder. Mittenwalder, and apparently that's a region of Germany, Mittenwald, in which this cello originated. Um, this time I'm trying an older cello. The previous one, the Guarneri, was a new cello. But this one here, I requested an older cello to try out so that I can hear the differences between newer and older instruments. So again, this is the Mittenwalder cello made in Germany. It's older, and also it's a bit beat up. So there's a lot of small nicks and dents in it, which you probably can't see from this camera, but certainly up close you can see the various scratches, dents, and even here on the side of this corner here, it's just it looks like it just got broken off right here, so it's not fully flush with this edge here. Um, so I chose this one just to give a bit of contrast between newer and older cellos. As they say, older cellos have a more mature sound, and that's because the wood has already settled into what it will actually sound like. So with that in mind, let's give this a try and let's hear what this cello sounds like just on open strings. So to me, this cello sounds a bit more. I don't know really how people describe sounds, but it sounds a lot more woody, almost like it probably is a deeper sound. You can sort of hear like the woodiness of this cello, especially on the lower string. So I think they sometimes describe some of the newer cellos as brighter. This one here is a little bit more toned down, so probably a little bit more earthy, woody type of sound, which I thought sounded pretty well in the shop when I gave it a try. So that's why I wanted to play with it and see how it performs. So I guess like last week, I went through a lot of the songs in Suzuki's Cello School Volume 1. This time I won't go through all of them because it actually took quite a while to sort of get through them. And also I was mentioning last time that now I don't have those stickers on first position. I don't have the padding on where my thumb is. So just trying to get used to that first position, trying to find it without having to sort of search for it by adjusting my fingers. So hopefully I can start to develop more practice in terms of that as I try out these different cellos and sort of get an understanding for what these different sounds are. So I'll go ahead and play maybe just a couple pieces, practice on this cello, and we'll see how much it squeaks or how lovely it sounds. I'm using the same bow as last week, the Marco Roposo nickel mounted bow. So let's give this a try. So as I'm playing this, I'm hearing a lot of reverberation. I think that's what it's called, where it sounds really loud, and it's almost like it's like there's like waves of it, waves, especially as I'm playing the longer bow strokes here. So something like. And it might be because the previous notes sort of vibration hasn't completely ended, but when I'm playing into a next note, I'm not really sure. That's sort of what it kind of sounds like, and I'm not sure if you can pick that up from the previous time I played it. Okay, now let me try Rigadoon, because this is another piece where I can go a little bit slower, and you can really sort of hear the vibration and sounds of this cello. So let's give Rigadoon a try. I might actually break somewhere in the middle just to sort of play with some of these passages here. So on this first measure, the sounding of the squeak usually comes about when I had the rental cello, comes about when I'm coming down from this first measure. Usually between the number 3 fingering and the number 1 fingering on the D string here. And I could sort of hear it's kind of coming through on this cello as well. And I'm not sure if it's the strings, though I do think that this cello has the same strings as the Guarneri that I was trying last week. So just something to keep in mind, because I was talking about the Guarneri last week, and that one was a lot more forgiving, almost like it squeaked a lot less. But here I can almost hear it sort of coming back. There's sort of the same locations where I had the squeakiness on the rental cello. So maybe it's my bowing technique is not exactly right, or maybe I'm not pressing as hard today. So let's give this another try. So especially on this D string number 3 fingering, I believe that's what, D, E, F. The F. I think this is a F sharp, if I'm correct, on this particular piece. This F sharp here, you can really sort of hear it vibrating, almost like it's making a, it's almost like it's in harmony with the sound of the vibration of the cello. I can't always get it, but it almost sounds like, you know, when someone's making one sound, like dun, and then someone else comes in and tries to match it. When they match, you sort of hear that collision of those sound waves that sort of make it sound like it's like vibrating back and forth. So that's what sometimes I hear that, especially on this number 3 finger on the D string. So I'm not sure if that's something to be concerned about or not. But let's give this more try, a few more tries here. Start from here. So overall first impressions of the Mittenwalder is that it does have a earthier, sort of lower, robust sound to it. And you notice how long the string continues to vibrate after I've finished bowing that particular string. It's like almost 5 seconds. So as I'm playing some of these pieces, even I can sort of hear that while I'm playing a note, as I went into the D and A strings, I might be two measures down already, while I'm still hearing the G string vibrating. So that's something I didn't notice in the Walter Guarneri that I tried last week, nor did I really notice that in my cello, in my rental cello. So this is definitely something specific to this one. At least this is the first one that I've really heard that on. So it really affects the sound. So I think my overall impressions of, my overall first impressions of this cello, although it has a deeper sound, its playability for some reason is not as forgiving as the Walter. So yeah, I guess I'm not a big fan of this one, and we'll have to continue trying different cellos.